Is it? How's it going, everybody? I know I'm live. Just want to make sure. Yeah, okay. We're good. Hope. Why is there? Oh, that explains it. Happy, beautiful Tuesday, March 10th. Yeah, I have topic, and I think I'm gonna do the topic first now. Because yesterday, I know the plan was to do the topic after I read Reddit, and apparently that plan went out the window because that never happened. So that's okay. You live and you learn. It's only day 27 after all. It hasn't even been a whole month that I've been doing this. And it actually goes hand in hand with the topic. As you see, it says embarrassment is the cost of entry. What does that mean? To do anything, to basically to participate in any activity, you have to be willing to be embarrassed. It's much deeper than that, obviously. What I mean is, for example, everybody wants to be like good at something, right? Everybody wants to be the master. Everybody wants to be a black belt or the expert, but nobody wants the phase before that, like before the person's a master. Nobody does or wants to do the hard work that it takes there, because that phase, people call it looking stupid, which is what I'm doing now. Like literally, I'm in that phase now in the grand scheme of things. So, and the line is the concept is one of the things that I have written on my. I'll even show you on my window. Let me see. Let me open OBS so I can see where the camera is. 1 second. All right. And I've had this written on there for like a little bit over a month now. It's on a piece of paper. You see that with the pink bow tie? And what it says is a lot of guys fall to the wayside because they just don't put their stuff out there. And it's so freaking true, and it's literally what made me finally put my stuff out. Because I knew I always wanted to do something, and it doesn't have to be like, for most people, it's not this streaming or whatever. It could be a job, it could be anything. It could be an activity, like a hobby. It could be a million different things. But people don't start them because they're worried. They're like, oh, I don't want to go in there and look, I don't want to go in there and look like a newbie, like I don't know what I'm doing. Not realizing literally every single person that's a master once looked like that beginner that doesn't know what the hell they're doing, felt awkward, like in my case, it would be like me doing like terrible streams. Like yesterday, I streamed. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get to this topic at the end of the stream. And yeah. Kate, what's up? See, now I'm with chat. I'm following chat. So, you know what I was talking about? How a lot of people don't do things because of embarrassment. Because, like, for me, like, in my example, like, I use myself as an example, it's like doing these streams, doing this, the streaming, just putting myself out there and recording myself, and I'm glad you're doing good, Kate. I'm happy to hear it. Shoot, if you wanted to, I wish I could. Do you have Google Meet? I would bring you up if you want, but yeah, you're really good with that. Like, you don't have no embarrassment. Like, did you feel any embarrassment? Like, not embarrassed, but like anxiety about putting yourself out there when you first started? You're like the perfect person to talk to about this. But people don't fear failure as much as they don't feel they don't fear failing. They fear being embarrassed more. They're like, oh, and most of the time they won't even admit it. Most people, like, a lot of people, another good example, a lot of people won't get up to go dance because that's me. I won't go dance because I don't want to be embarrassed, which I don't know why. Not really, but a bit shy. Yes, but you're very outgoing and you're so good at like talking to people and getting people to like you, which is really good skill to have. I'm talking to you while looking over here because the chat is over here. But yeah, not really, but a bit shy. You're not that shy. You get on camera and stream and you do really good. But yeah, so failure is just like when people fail, they can fail in private, but if it's embarrassment is public. So, everybody's afraid of social rejection, I guess, and everybody wants social acceptance. You fear failing, but you can't fail. You already succeeded, Kate. You can't fail. You've already succeeded where you're at, and you just keep going. You're gonna keep growing. There's no way doing what you're doing that you will not continue to grow. You understand what I'm saying? So it might take time, but there's no possible way that if you keep doing what you're doing, that you're not going to continue to grow. That's just the facts. So you got this. I believe in you 100%. You remember how yesterday you're gonna be like, you don't know, one of us will be a big, like a YouTuber or a TikTok. I was like, yeah, it might be you, Kate. It'll probably be you. You'll be the biggest Nigerian streamer. I looked up some Nigerian like TikToks and stuff since. There were some funny ones. All right, but yeah, why embarrassment hurts people is because people just evolved to avoid social rejection. And yes, I'm reading notes. I was prepared. Being laughed at once meant being excluded from the tribe, apparently. So before, I guess, if you were laughed at, like, look at Dmitry, he's an idiot. Oh my God. Everybody point and laugh. Then like nobody, Dmitry's out of the tribe. He's gone. Your brain says, don't do that thing. Stay safe. Your first attempts are supposed to be bad. So yeah, like, I want, if anybody like takes anything from this, I want anybody that's listening to this at any time in the future, think about one thing that you haven't done because you're like afraid of failing or kind of embarrassed about doing it, or like just you don't want to look awkward. Pick one thing and do it. Like, actually do it. Don't, say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, but actually do it. And I would love to hear the results or your thoughts, like in the comments too. Amen. Yes, you got this, Kate. You're a star in the making, for sure, for sure. I speak into existence. Feeling incompetent is literally the first stage of. So the truth is, the problem. People think if I were naturally good at this, it wouldn't feel embarrassing, which is not the truth. So that's the problem. People think, if I was already like good at this, it wouldn't feel embarrassing. That's not true. Feeling incompetent is literally the first stage of competence. So stages of a skill, right? This is any skill, anything you learn, anything you do. For me, let's say it'll be streaming, right? First stage is unconscious incompetence. So you don't even know you're horrible at it. You think you're like, you just, then you realize you're like horrible at it. So I'm at like conscious incompetence now. That's part 2. First step, again, is unconscious incompetence. 2 is conscious incompetence. 3 is conscious competence. So now you know what you're doing, and you know that you know what you're doing. Like consciously, you can do it right. And 4 is unconscious competence. So now you don't even have to think about it, and you're going to do it right. Does that make sense? Unconscious competence. And that's a rhetorical question. Does that make sense? Obviously. But most people quit at stage 2, which is when they just find out that they don't know anything. Conscious incompetence. Let me share this, actually. Let me share this with you guys. Visuals are great. I don't know why I do not have it for you. But that's no problem. I can fix. Very fast, very fast. I fix. See? So unconscious incompetence was stages of skill. Part 1, conscious, like, when you don't know shit. You don't even know you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. What you don't know, you just don't know. Then you start knowing you don't know shit. Oh, 59 subs, let's go. Clown Force, are you laughing at that? I'm proud of 59 subs, bro. What? I just had like 26 like 3 days ago. Hold on. Are you clowning me for 59 subs, or are you like congratulating me? I'm fucking pumped. 59 subs, bro? I am pumped. I swear. Look, you think I'm fucking joking, right? I got a board, bro, look at this. You think I'm joking. You see that? It says 100 YouTube subs with a little meter. And I'm up to 59. So anybody watching this, or anybody that sees this, if you're not subbed, if you want to help me grow this meter, go up. Oh, damn, the microphone's all the way over there. I hope you can hear me. But you see it's at 59 YouTube subs. I'm trying to get this mug to 100. You're laughing at 59. I'm proud of 59, kid. Get out of here, bro. Get on your level, bro. I don't care, bro. I don't care if you have 1 million subs, bro. I'm running my own race, homeboy. I'm running my own race. That's what you don't understand. I ain't worried about what you're doing. I'm worried about what I'm doing. Come on, man. I'm not good at this? Okay. I love that. That's right. You might be right. You could totally be right. But I'm going to do my best to prove you wrong. I'll read every comment you write, yo. Won't ban you, nothing. I'm not doing much? Okay. What I'm not going to do is buy, right. I'm not going to, right, because you rage quit. Bye. Right, because I made you look like the clown like you are. The clown that you are. What happened? Thought you were going to troll me. Remove the share? What does that mean? We don't see it. Huh? You don't see what, bro? I was showing you the notes. How do you not see it? Man, get the hell out of here, bro. His name says it all. Clown Force. You're not joking. You are not joking. Bouncecast. All right, let me close this. Well, no. Oh, fuck that guy. What I was showing y'all was the notes, but I think we already basically covered that. Yeah, the 4 steps of learning a skill. Then, social media changed expectations. It did, because now people post, just the best of their life. They don't post the failures. They don't post the hardships. They post all the glamour, all the sparkling shit, all the things that are good. So to the outside world, like if somebody's scrolling through their phone, like, wow, this person has such a beautiful life. When in most cases, or half, I'm not gonna say most cases, but a lot of cases, those people are fucking miserable, yo. And they're posting that to make themselves feel better. My excuse right now for posting, I'm posting everything. I had a fucking hair, sorry for my language. I had a random ass hair growing out of my forehead last night. I made a video of it and posted the short. You think I planned that? No, I'm just posting random ass shit and seeing what happens. I got 1,000 views in like 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes, but his name says it all. You ain't lying. Bounce gas. Hold on. Got to pin that. I'll even go to my studio. Boom. Let's go. Make sure. Yeah, I'll see what you're supposed to see. But yeah, you see all these confident speakers, perfect videos. Right, the video's been shot 50 times, edited 87 times, and then you're like, wow, these people are perfect. What you don't see, the first 50 attempts, they're awkward early work, right? The years, they look like beginners, right? Like, people see these big streamers or, like, you know what I mean? Like, for example, some of y'all might know Owen. He is really a clown. Kate, I love you. You're right. That guy was a clown. I love people like that, though. It honestly motivates me. You see how he came in here and he was making fun of me having 59 subscribers? And he thought he was like putting me down. And I'm actually like proud of that. And I don't care what he says. Like, I actually don't care. Like, I don't care how many subscribers he has. I don't care who the fuck he is. I don't care about none of that. I'm running my own race. I really am. And if I look dumb doing it, it is what it is, At least there'll be a record of it, and there'll be, a diary of it. But let's read some embarrassing Reddit stuff. So let's see if there's anything else. Musicians bomb on stage, right? Oh yeah, but I was gonna say, some of y'all know Owen. People watch Owen streams and they're like, oh, I can do what he does. What you don't see is the fucking 20, 25, 30 years of work he's put in to get there. Like, performing on stage, bombing, like before he was a nobody. Like, nobody, like, there was a lot of those. I'm sure he performed way more nights where like he was nobody than nights where he was actually like a headliner or something, and that was, nobody sees that work, people only see, he does a stream and shit and he just talks for 2 hours. I could do that, like, it's going over to Twitch. I love you. You're good, Kate. Thank you for stopping by. You're the best. And I'll, yeah. Thank you. But, yeah. What's this? Comedians bomb jokes. We know this. Regret. Oh, yeah. If you refuse embarrassment, you pay another price. That price is regret. And that's actually yesterday. The price, that's funny. The price of discipline or the price of regret. So it's actually, or the price of embarrassment or the price of regret too. That's funny. So you always got to pay some kind of price. You're either going to pay the price of embarrassment, but if you pay the price of embarrassment, you actually get good at something and you actually have a chance at succeeding at something, right? Or you're going to pay the price of regret if you don't do it, because you're going to regret not doing it. So yeah, you won't get embarrassed, but you're going to feel regret, and that's going to hurt. So, would you rather feel that? And then, like with other things, like things that don't involve embarrassment, like embarrassment, like something, And what I mean by that is it's not something that you're trying for the first time. Let's say like working out. That's discipline, right? So in that case, it's, are you willing to endure the price of discipline of doing that thing that you need to do, that you know you need to do, stick to that diet, stick to the workout plan? Or are you gonna or are you willing to endure the price of regret, that, you know, the results or the lack of results you get from not doing that thing that you know you should be doing, you know? Do you want to deal with the pain and not even the pain, the effort, and do you want to put in the energy to be disciplined, or do you want to have your energy drained through regret from not being disciplined? That's the way I see it now. I see you, Kate. I got all my chats up. You see, I got literally all 3 chats up right next to each other. I got Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch. And I started streaming on Twitch, Kate, this show thing, because you told me to. You said, oh, you should do it on Twitch. And it actually helps with OBS, because I have YouTube and Rumble as I have a plugin, whatever, plugin to stream to multiple outlets, and you gotta have, it doesn't matter. Many people live their entire lives inside a comfort cage, right? Some people never step out into discomfort, and they never get to experience these beautiful things that they really wish they could. So whether it's their anxiety keeping them from it, or I don't know, their anxiety, or their just fear of looking awkward or not knowing. You have to remember, every single person who is doing that thing has looked awkward, has been where you are when you first start. They know how it feels, so they will help you. Every single person that has ever been good at anything has started not knowing it and sucking at it. Every single person. Some people, learn quicker than others. That is a thing too, you know. But as long as you're learning, you're going to learn that thing, you know. Let's see. Not because they won't tolerate, exactly. So many people live their entire lives inside a comfort stage. They avoid learning, creating, risking, trying, and all the fucking sorry for my language, and all the beautiful things that you get as a result of doing those things. Not because they can't do them, because they won't tolerate the awkward stage. All simply because they're scared of the awkward stage, when they can be getting so many benefits. It's crazy. And there's the people who succeed share one trait: they are willing to look stupid temporarily. They understand embarrassment is temporary, mastery is permanent. That's a fact. You'll get over embarrassment. And really, embarrassment, the older I get, the less embarrassed I am about things. Because I'm like, whatever. You've probably done it. I farted, so what? I didn't mean to. You've probably done it too. Don't lie. Embarrassment is therapy. Mastery is permanent. Examples. The first time someone lifts weights. Damn, I feel like that even not after the first time, but the first time someone publishes a book, first time someone records a podcast, blah, 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 they all look like beginners. The first time me doing a YouTube stream, I look like a beginner. I don't know what I'm doing, and it's fine. It's okay. I got to be okay with it, you know? Instead of asking yourself, what if I embarrass myself? Say, what skill might I gain if I survive this? Not if I survive this, once I survive this. See, they're putting down on my head. Once I survive this. What skill might I gain? Will, not might I gain. Will. See, ChatGPT they be a little tricky, yo. They be putting down in your head if you don't be careful. You got to be careful with ChatGPT. It will put doubt in your head. You should ask yourself, what skill will I gain once I survive this? Not if I survive this. What the fuck? Why would they even put that in your head? I should go back to this fucking conversation, even though this is in my notes, and ask ChatGPT what the fuck it was thinking. I bet you will probably know what's wrong. I don't want to do it. All right, I'm going to do it. Sorry. I'll make it quick. And I'll help you all see it too. ChatGPT. There you go. All right, we go. Search chats. Thumbnail. All right, what are we? Where is our notes? No, it should be in here. Yeah, right here. Here's our notes. Okay, where's that? I'm sorry, but I have to ask ChatGPT about this question, about this statement. Yeah, it's right here. No. Oh, guess what? We can Control F and say, what skill? There we go. And ask it, what does it think? Okay. What do you think about this suggestion you made? Do you see any ways you might be putting doubt into the person? Any ways that statement or that question would put doubt into the person? Doubt into the person. Is there a way you can make that statement? Is there a way you can make this question better? Let's see what happens. If it's just being an asshole just to be an asshole. That's a very perceptive question. The wording, what skill might I gain if I survive this, does have a subtle psychological weakness. Oh, you don't say. You don't say. You don't say. Let me zoom you all in. That's a very perceptive question. The wording, what skill might I gain if I survive this, does have a subtle psychological weakness. Why the original phrasing can introduce doubt. 2 parts. Oh, wow. Same thing I noticed. My first podcast episode was crazy. You seen this, Kate, with ChatGPT? This is wild. So, 2 parts of the sentence can unintentionally trigger hesitation. Might sounds uncertain, signals uncertainty. The brain interprets it as, maybe this will help, maybe it won't. No shit, Sherlock. When people are already anxious, uncertainty reduces motivation. You don't fucking say. If I survive this, frames the situation as threatening or dangerous. It exaggerates the emotional risks. The brain may interpret it as confirmation that the situation is something to fear. You don't say, ChatGPT, you fucking piece of shit. So instead of empowering someone, the sentence can reinforce the idea that the situation is risky and the benefit is uncertain. You don't say. You don't fucking say. So why the fuck would you suggest that, ChatGPT? Stronger versions of the question. A better framing removes uncertainty and reframes embarrassment as training rather than survival. Option 1, very strong. What skill will I gain from doing this? Wow. Why didn't you fucking do that to begin with? Why it works. It assumes growth is guaranteed, removes fear language. You don't fucking say. This is the wizardry. Hey, this is real wizardry right here that I'm fucking like in live and real. Like I'm catching AI wizardry for those of y'all that's following. This is crazy. Growth framing. What am I about to learn? Option 2, growth framing. What am I about to learn by doing this? Why it works. Shifts focus from judgment to learning. Makes the action feel exploratory. Option 3, performance framing. What ability will this? We get it. You don't have to do, we don't, like, so you have all these fucking better options, but you give us the fucking shittiest option that gives us uncertainty. My favorite version for your stream, oh, don't change the fucking subject now. Don't change the fucking subject now. I didn't ask anything about my stream. Don't try to fucking butter me up. Don't try to butter me up. Connects action to identify growth. People are motivated by identity change. What version of me will this create? Yeah, so hold on. Don't do all this. Don't change try to change the topic. All I asked is about this one quote. You're going into all this other shit, Chat GPT. How about we just pause and let's keep talking about this? All right? I only asked about the quote. Stop buttering me up with all the other shit. And trying to change the topic. Understood. I'll stay on the exact point. Yes, the question, what skill might I gain if I survive this, can introduce doubt for 2 specific linguistic reasons. All right, we went over this. We got this. A stronger version, what skill will this build? Yes, that would have been way better. Another very strong alternative. What am I about to learn by doing this? Oh, great. You have so many great alternatives that you did not use. What skill does this build? Oh, okay. So, since you have all these great alternatives, can you give me the logic behind initially giving me a question that introduced doubt, uncertainty, and fucking death? That introduced doubt, uncertainty, and fucking death. Yo, I just realized it literally suggested death. It's like, if I survive this, what the fuck? What do you mean if I survive this? You might die from this? Like, we're not doing anything that's gonna get you killed. We're talking about like going dancing and shit and like starting a new job. I mean, unless your job is like working at at the top of a skyscraper, your chances of coming home every day are pretty good. Fucking death. What is going on, Chat GPT? Fair question. So since what I said was, since you have all these great alternatives, can you give me the logic behind initially giving me a question that introduced doubt, uncertainty, and fucking death? Fair question. The logic behind the original phrasing wasn't to introduce doubt or threat. It came from a common cognitive reframing pattern used in psychology and coaching. Let's see. The structure, if I survive this, is often deliberately as hyperbolic contrast. The idea is to point out that the situation feels catastrophic. Why would you want to point out that the situation feels catastrophic if we're trying to calm somebody down? Social embarrassment triggers the same threat systems in the brain as physical danger, even though the real risk is minimal. Okay, let me try to understand. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Is often as hyperbolic contrast. If I survive this, okay, the idea is to point out the situation feels catastrophic. Well, why would you, the idea, right, the idea. So why would you want the idea for the situation to feel catastrophic? I don't get it. Social embarrassment triggers the same threats in the same brain system as physical danger, even though the real risk is minimal. By saying survive, and the intent is to hide, I'm going to say, can you explain this shit to me like I'm 4? because I'm not understanding or following. By saying survive, the intent is to highlight that what feels like a huge social risk is actually something you'll obviously come through. No, you said if I survive, how is that you're obviously going to come through? The other option is you don't survive, you're going to die. It's meant as a rhetorical device. Okay, I can go with that. It's meant as a rhetoric if I survive this, but still, it's meant as a rhetorical device that exposes the exaggeration in the fear. Okay, you're like, oh, if I go dancing and if I survive this, like, I get that, but we didn't have an actual like thing we were talking about. That's the problem. And I know I'm talking to ChatGPT right now, and ChatGPT is not hearing me, but I'm talking it out with myself, okay? And anybody who's paying attention. So let it be what it's going to be. All right. That said, your critique is valid from a motivation and language precision standpoint. If the goal is confidence and forward action, stronger wording that removes uncertainty is usually better. The original phrasing learned toward reflective exploration, while your preferred versions lean toward decisive framing. Both exist in different communication styles, but for motivating action, the tighter versions are indeed stronger. Okay, going forward, can you store in your memory, I always want the most confident, positive, realistic, motivating, confident, positive, realistic, motivating, action-driven. I always want the most bias added to anything you give me, you respond with. Let's see if that works. Got it. I've stored that preference. Going forward, I'll be biased towards being confident, positive, realistic. Yo, this is how you train your AI. Oh, you guys don't see this. Oh, yeah, you do. Okay. Positive, realistic, motivating, action-driven. That means avoiding language that introduces unnecessary doubt, hesitation, or weak framing unless you explicitly ask for neutral analysis. Exactly. If a choice exists between exploratory, uncertain framing and decisive, empowering framing, I will default to decisive, motivating version. Always. Yo, this is great. You can't trust AI. Tell me about it. This is wild. And then, who's that in YouTube? Hold on. Let me make my chat bigger. Dmitriy got wrecked by Adam Camacho, resorted to childish behavior and tactics so you lose by default. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. I lost. Am I supposed to be sad now? That's just your opinion, but and I agree. Look, I'll even give it to you. I watched it back and I feel like I was a little childish and I shouldn't have called him dumb as much as I went overboard. So if you really want to go there, I agree with you. I shouldn't have acted the way I did. Like if I could go back in time in 2020, hindsight being 2020, I wouldn't have acted like that. I still would have told him he was dumb, and I still would have told him everything I said, but I wouldn't have been so extreme over it. So, yeah, I got secondhand embarrassment. So if you want to talk about it, the topic today, actually, I was embarrassed watching it back, honestly, but I left it up there just for the hell of it, I'm not going to for views. And, I don't think I did that horrible. At the end, I think I pulled it together pretty good. Anyway, let me get back to this. Yeah, you can't trust AI. It's crazy. So the means of avoiding language that introduces unnecessary doubt, hesitation, or weak framing unless you explicitly... All right, I will default. Can you give me other choices that you might make and the options for them, and I'll tell you what to do, and I'll tell you which I prefer. Well, cool. Appreciate the honesty. Yeah, I'm being straight up. Will we ever see a round two? I'm down to talk to him, man. I'll actually won't be as fucking as much of an asshole. But I am very self-aware. I watched that video. I was like, ugh. I was cringing half of the time with myself. At the end, I pulled it together a little bit. But yeah, I'm down to talk to him. Shit, I'll do it today. Tell him after this, after my show, I'll talk to him. Straight up. And I won't be an asshole. But we got to set some ground rules, you know? And yeah. Reframe. All right. So answer style. All right. So I got to train my AI really quick, and then we'll read a couple of threads. But skill comes after messy attempts. Hell yeah, Kate. You can't get good at anything. You can't get skillful at anything until you suck at it for a while, over and over and over and over and over. You know? You don't just, like, you might be like naturally inclined to be a little better at something starting off, you know? Or like you might have I guess, like a natural ability for something, but yeah, ultimately natural ability still doesn't beat hard work and like somebody that practices it all the time, every day. And I've seen it over and over in my life, you know, with many different things. So how direct responses should be. Answer style. Straight to the answer, minimal explanation, signal stuff. B, direct and reasoning. Clear answer first, short explanation after. Yep. Step-by-step thinking, more educational. No. B, direct reasoning. How direct response should be. Answer, direct and concise. Straight to the answer, minimal explanation, high signal, low fluff. Clear answer first, short explanation after. So for 1, we want B. 1. B. 2. How the response feels emotionally. Tactical, professional. Clear, focused, minimal personality. Do I want to be motivational, energy, encouraging, pushes action? Hell yeah. B. Detached. 2. B for sure. Yo, anybody that has AI needs to train their eye and ask it these questions. How problems are interpreted. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. How problems are interpreted. Do I want it to be solution focused? Yes. Risk and reward analysis? Yes. Critical evaluation. Identify flaws first. Now, solution focused. Focus on what works. Emphasize progress. Yep. Risk and reward analysis. Balance pros and cons. No, I want solution focused. A. 3, we want A. 3, we want A. 4. A, don't get mitched. Find out when Adam is down to go. All right, well, I'm on 4. Communication efficiency. How optimized responses are. Maximum efficiency. Shortest useful answer. Balanced. Clear but still detailed. Cover every. No. B. We want B. Clear with some detail. B. I feel like that was number 1. Answer some questions. Do you mind? No, I don't mind. You have questions for me? If you have questions for me, I'll answer any question you got, Kate. 5. Initiative. How proactive I should be. Only answer what was asked. How proactive I should be. Only answer what was asked. Answer and small useful improvements. Strategic suggestions. C. Strategic suggestions. C. How much should I question or push your ideas? Supportive. I need to point out flaws aggressively. Yeah, I want assume user intent is good. Help strengthen ideas. Support but challenge weak logic. B. I mean, I kind of want him to point out flaws aggressively too, though. Damn. Point out flaws aggressively might be okay. What was your most embarrassing moment, and what did you learn from it? Um, it was. It's dumb now because now it's not embarrassing, but it was like when I was in sixth grade. I was in middle school. We had these little laser pointers, right? The red laser pointer, and was playing with it all day in school, and like we were pointing at each other and like in our eyes, and like it started to give me like a tension headache or like a headache where like above my eyes was really hurting. And at the end of the like towards the end of well no I was in my last class, and it was like I don't know midway through class. I was feeling super nauseous, and I raised my hand because like I felt like I had to throw up. And the teacher, for some reason, like either by the time she let me out, it was like too late. Anyways, I got up, started going, like try to make it out of the bath or out of the classroom, and like halfway, like I didn't even get to the door. I puked everywhere in the classroom, and it was like super, and like puke running out, and puke whatever. They had to clean it up. I went to like the nurse or whatever, and I didn't go back to that class or for the remainder of the period. So like I think the next day I didn't even go to school because I was so embarrassed about it. And then the following day I went to school, and it is what it is. Yeah, I didn't go to school the next day because I was like, I'm sick. Like I told my parents, I was like, oh, I'm so sick, I can't go to school now. Like another day, and I literally didn't go to school the next day because I was so fucking embarrassed. It wasn't because I was sick. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm looking over here, and I'm probably looking crazy because I'm looking at the chat as I'm talking to you, Kate. I'm answering your question. I need to put the chat up here. Sorry about that. There we go. But yeah, that was. I mean, so yeah, just throwing up and what did I learn from it? At that point, I didn't learn anything from it. Now I learned that you should not. I mean, obviously, it's bodily functions. Like you can't. First of all, don't point lasers. What I learned from it is don't point lasers in people's eyes, and it probably won't make you throw up. So that's number one thing I learned from that for sure. To this day, when I think about it, like the top of my eyes hurt. Like when I was telling that story, I felt it. And two, yeah, if you gotta throw up, get up and go throw up and get to the place you gotta throw up. Don't ask anybody, just go. I don't care what grade you're in. If you need to throw up, go. Because once you throw up, they'll be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. But all right. So let me finish answering these because challenge level. How much should I question? Do we balance? All right, balance. We don't want you to aggressively point out our flaws because then you're going to be a dick probably. Even though we kind of do want that. Language strength. How assertive wording should be. Strong, decisive, moderate. This is likely best. No, this works. Do this. Yes. A, obviously. Fuck, we don't want no uncertainty. Damn, how many? Okay, quick method. Okay, I did it something like that. You'll figure it out, bud. How information is formatted. How information is formatted. Bullet points. For sure. For damn sure. Depth, insight. Immediately usable advice, big picture thinking, theory and philosophy, big picture thinking. A and B. Can I get A and B? A and B. Why can't I get big picture thinking and usable advice to go with it? Like, I want you to think big, but tell me how to get there. What the fuck? Why is that a problem? You're AI. Creative level, how inventiveness responses should be. Balanced, practical and creative, novel ideas, unusual angles, high creativity. High creativity. Yeah, high creativity. Creativity. Let's go. I hope it understands how I answered the fucking questions. It's not that difficult, right? Got it. I've stored your configuration. Your default response style is now answer style, direct, reasoning, clear, answer first, brief explanation for tone, motivational, framing bias, solution focused. Let's see if it gave us 9 for both practical and strategic. Yes, sir. Wait, no, big picture thinking. Practical, no, to 9, add big picture thinking as well. Can you do that for me, please? That would be so great of you. Data preference, deep depth of insight. 9 now includes practical, immediately usable, how to win long term, and underlying systems, patterns, and implications, big picture thinking. So responsible now aim to include what to do, why it works, how it fits into the big picture. No, how to make me, not how it fits into the bigger picture. How to get our ideas, he can be included, AI now, our ideas into the big picture. Do you get it? How to get our ideas into the big picture. Let's see if it understands what I'm saying. Understood. I've updated it. Your big picture thinking preference now means positioning your ideas inside the larger conversation, expanding ideas so they influence broader systems, yes, narratives or movements. Showing how a concept can scale beyond is the immediate topic. Exactly. So instead of explaining how something fits into the big picture, responses will emphasize how to elevate your idea into the big picture. Exactly. Why wouldn't you do that from the get-go? Why do I have to ask? How to frame it so it has broader impact, how to connect it to larger themes people care about. Example difference, old approach, context. Here's how this idea fits into the bigger trend. Your preferred approach, here's how this idea can become part of the bigger trend. Yeah, the distinction is now stored and will guide future responses. Thank you. Have a great day. Talk later. You're welcome, Dmitry. Configure save so future responses will follow your preferred. Talk later. Pew. Later. All right. Embarrassing. Too revealing. So I'm in class discussing why I can't access my grades. I go to say infinite. Oh no. Costume model. I'm a short story. Okay, we'll rate it a short story. Why not? Short story. Till this day, only my fiance knows about this. A few years back, we traveled to Galapagos with 3 other friends. One of our stops was in San Cristobal. Checked into our Airbnb, which was maybe 5-minute walk outside of the main town. It was getting late and we decided to go walk to town and grab dinner. Food was delicious. After dinner, we started walking back and happened. Oh, you guys can't see. I am sorry. Oh, yes, you can. Happened to stumble across some local street fair. We started talking, taking a look around, and then it hit me. Stomach started to bubble. Oh no, not the percolation. Percolation? For whatever reason, I'm the type to almost never use a public restroom to take a shit. I don't blame you, especially tiny restaurants. If I know there's a somewhat private one around, I'll do whatever it takes to get there. So I thought to myself, I'll just walk to our Airbnb and go there while the rest of my friends stay at this fair. No big deal. Right, you got to plan when to take a private shit sometimes. Told everyone I was feeling tired and that I would go back. Yeah, I got to go take a fucking massive dump. Going back to lay down. So I started making my way back to their Airbnb, but completely underestimated how far this place was. You shit yourself, didn't you? Kid you not, I was moving at the pace of an Olympic power walker, as clenched as hard as I could. I suggest YouTubing it if you don't know what that looks like. The locals passing by start staring at me looking like a strange foreigner. 10 minutes go by and I'm still not there. Morale is sinking, but in the distance, I see a familiar landmark. Oh my God, I'm so close. I thought to myself, 5 more minutes and I make it. I tried to open the gate and it's locked. Fuck! I take out the keys my friend gave me and it's a whole ring of keys. No! There must have been around 15 keys in the damn thing. I'm frazzled and panicking, about to shit myself. Now imagine the scene in Titanic where Jack and Rose are trying to open the gate as the water was rising, fidgeting through multiple keys because their lives depended on it. My anxiety far exceeded that, but somehow I managed to find the right one. I rush in, only to find our actual room is locked as well. This is a mini apartment complex, hence the original front gate. At this point, I'm almost certain this is it. As soon as I found the right key, there was the wet feeling in my ass that verified my defeat. I was so close. Took a shower and threw out my boxers. An hour later, my friends come back. Everything okay? I replied, yep, all good. I shat my pants because I took a chance of using a farther and more private. Should have shat your pants earlier. Should have shat your pants earlier. Would have saved, would have avoided all the anxiety and stress of trying to make it, home, and stress of trying to make it home. Yeah, if he just shit himself on the way home, he could just had dookie in his pants. Should have just shat your pants at the start of your walk. All you need is two rubber bands. All you need is two rubber bands around the ankles, and you're golden until you make it home. It might be a little squishy walking. Squishy. Rubber bands. That's how you spell a rubber band. Should have shat your pants earlier. Would have avoided all the anxiety and stress of trying to make it home. Should have just shat your pants at the start of your walk. All you need is two rubber bands around the ankles and you're golden until you make it home. Got him. We're helping people left and right here. Left and right, we're helping people. Oh, wow. That was 6 years ago. Huh. It's okay. Because all that matters is that. Oh, wow. Let's unjoin this. This is from. There we go. This is the wrong one, too. Embarrassing moments. This is what we were looking for. New. Volunteered at the fair one day ago. A few years ago, I was volunteering for the school fair. I was picked to be the lady for the dunk tank. I was wearing a modest one-piece swimsuit. After the fair, I went, why would they pick a lady at a school fair? At the fair, I went to an empty classroom to change, then slid out of her swimsuit, and then when going to get my clothes, the door opened, so I hid in the closet. It was a janitor, and he cleaned the room, then collected my clothes. Not knowing I was naked in the closet, he then left. It was around 8 p.m. I was so screwed, I ended up sneaking out of the classroom through the school completely naked. We did live in the neighborhood right across the street from the school. It sounds like bullshit. I made a dash through the parking lot, then she saw a car pull into the lot. I panicked and ran past them to our neighborhood. As I dashed across the street to our neighborhood to avoid the car, but I forgot that our street was having a block party. The neighborhood was lit up. There was stands, foods. Sounds like a bullshit story. Don't be worried by being embarrassed. No embarrassing moments as an adult. Embarrassing moments as an adult, Kate. Embarrassing moments as an adult. Let's see. Probably, yeah, there sure has been, but I can't think of any. So I've had a lot of like moments of. So I used to do a lot of public speaking and like so I was a life insurance. I was in life insurance I'm still a licensed life insurance agent to this day. It's been 19 years now. But at one point, I was building an agency. I had a bunch of life insurance agents under me. So I was running like 3 offices. And I was speaking in front of, large crowds at conferences and meetings and stuff. And there was plenty of times when I would go up to speak and I would, and just turn red, bright red. And yeah, plenty of but I can't give you a specific time, but I know for a fact there was a ton of them, especially when I first became a manager, supervising agent, and I first got 3 or 4 agents. By the time I was done, I had 40, 45 agents under me amongst 3 offices, Raleigh, Wilmington, and Greensboro or Chapel Hill. I think it was Chapel Hill. Yeah, and Raleigh was the biggest one where we had 30 agents. Wilmington had 10, and then Chapel Hill had less than 10 probably. But bottom line is, yeah, that was just my agency, and then there was other agencies. But yeah, I was talking in front of crowds of 100 people, and it's nerve-wracking, until you do it a bunch of times. Here's another example. It's embarrassing, and it's nerve-wracking until you do it a bunch of times, and then eventually, the more and more you do it, it does become easier. And you do it enough, you're like, what was I worried about? But even now, even now it can happen, but I don't see it as embarrassment so much as anxiety. I don't know if that's the same, What about you, Kate? What about your most embarrassing moment? You didn't think I was going to let you get away without putting you on the spot, did you? Oh, you're on Twitch. I wonder if I could add you on Twitch as hold on, if I go to the Twitch website. Even though I'm getting ready to get off, I should be getting off already. I'm way past. Oh man, I need to make a call. All right, Kate. I love you guys. Let's talk tomorrow more. I might be back on a little bit, might not be. I don't know if Owen's streaming. It is March 10th, Tuesday. Dmitriy Questions Reddit, day 27. 3 days away from day 30. Help me get to 100 subs, please, if you can. Hit the subscribe button if you see this video. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated.